Delivering in an online classroom can sometimes feel like you're flying without full sight. So today, we're going to look at some ways that we can overcome this inhibitor to communication and your confidence with some easy tips and tricks. I've noticed that sometimes when I deliver sessions, my confidence gets a little bit shaky because I'm not seeing people's faces. Even though I'm looking for reassurance from the environment in this screen that I'm looking at, there's just nothing there to say, you're going okay. Did you know of the 600 species and subspecies of primates, humans have one of the largest sclera, or whites of the eyes. That's so that we can detect the slightest eye movements in one another so that we can communicate and cooperate clearly as a species. And in a troop of baboons, they look at the alpha male roughly every 3 seconds to check that they're safe and that they're all behaving in a way that's acceptable to the group. Or troop, as they're known. Troop. And no, I'm not related to baboons. Okay, that's enough of the David Attenborough Planet of the Apes stuff. But I'm sure you can see the link and the importance of seeing our eyes in communication. Generally, people follow the person giving off the strongest and the clearest signals in the room. So as the leader of the room, I need to make sure that I'm giving off those signals. But in the online classroom, either I can't see the students' eyes, or they can't see mine, or worst case scenario, we can't see each other's eyes. So what do we do about it? Is there something that we can do to compensate for this lack of being able to see each other and send those strong communication signals? The main way that we can address this problem is to not get caught up trying to read the room so much, because we're just not going to see the things that we need to see to reassure us. What we need to do instead is just lead the room. What I mean by that is that we need to accept that the online classroom is very different from face-to-face. We're not going to get those body language cues that we normally do. We need to step into the online space with confidence. We need to be passionate teachers and have faith that the learning session we've designed is going to work. One of the things that makes me a little bit panicky when I'm delivering online is I'm not sure that the students can either hear me, or I've changed screens and are they seeing what I'm actually talking about? And because you're not getting that feedback, you've just got to keep going. One of the things that you can do is work with your students right at the start of the course on developing these protocols of communication. So if you're going to change screens, say from me on the screen over to a PowerPoint presentation, you can ask the students to give you the thumbs up emoji on the screen so you know you're all looking at the same thing. That way they'll kind of get used to doing that, and if they're not looking at what you think you're talking about, they'll soon let you know. A great way to create that reassurance for yourself and your students is to come onto the screen frequently, particularly if there's a natural break in the content. Then if you ask a question that's going to provoke some sort of discussion around it, you can ask students to come onto this screen. That way you're seeing each other's eyes and it's going to create a reassurance. It also creates that all-important human connection, which is the vital ingredient in successful online delivery. In episode 11, I cover how to encourage students to come on screen, so that might be something that's helpful to go back and just have a quick look at. Depending on where your students are in their course and their confidence levels, you might be able to get them to research a topic and present it back to the rest of the group. That way they get to experience what it's like to deliver in an online space. It does build their confidence, but they also get to see that it's actually pretty hard presenting online and it's pretty dry unless people get involved and engage in the learning. My last tip is around assigning tasks to students. So you could get them to be a timekeeper or monitor the chat box for you to see if there's any questions that come up that would be helpful for you to address. That way the students become these little set of extra eyes and ears for you to see what's going on in the room and can help in the communication process. All right, that's it from me. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Virtually the Teacher.